Hey friends, welcome to the Taste Toast Travel Podcast. We're your hosts and resident foodies, Epicureans, and lovers of all things travel and exploration.
I'm John, and I'm a certified somm and a certified specialist of wine, and I've worked in the wine and hospitality industry for over 10 years.
I'm Tara, and I've worked in the wine industry for over 7 years, both in hospitality and digital marketing.
When my wife and I first met, we bonded over our love of eating, drinking, and traveling the world. That passion has only grown over time. Now we want to share this passion with you from an insider perspective.
On this podcast, you can expect a wide range of topics on all things food, travel, and beverage. This includes non-alcoholic drinks too, because we don't discriminate here. That means we'll dig into things like where to go, where to stay, and what to eat or drink along the way. We'll be serving tea on hot topics and big news, dig into the cultural significance and impacts that food, drink, and travel have on our lives, and we'll even bring on guests to join us who are just as excited, passionate, and knowledgeable about tasting, toasting, and traveling as we are. And because we're not your ordinary foodie and travel-focused podcast, you can definitely expect some pop culture topics here too.
We're only scratching the surface here, and we have a lot more in store that we can't wait to share with you all. Grab your favorite beverage, get comfortable, and enjoy the journey with us. Cheers.
Hi guys, welcome back to Taste Toast Travel. I'm Tara.
No, I'm John.
And we had talked about doing a episode about like coffee culture and just coffee in general for a while, but I feel like whenever we talked about doing, I don't know, like talking about this topic, it was like, okay, what do we really want to say about it? But as of late, a little company called Starbucks is giving us,
I've heard of them.
once or twice, is giving us a lot to talk about on this particular topic.
Mhm.
So excited to get into that because they're, definitely making some changes that I think are actually going to be really good and needed. But there's also a lot of people that are kind of pissed off about it.
That's also true.
So we'll get into that. But I think this opens up a bigger conversation about just coffee culture in, well, I guess really like America versus Europe. It's something that we've talked about, you and I, just like in passing many, many times. And just how different it is. I'm not going to say better. I don't want to say worse, but I was joking to him before we got on this episode that I was like, I hope we don't sound super pretentious here in this
Coffee
episode,
snobs.
but we're a little bit of coffee snobs. Where do we want to start with this one?
Well, I mean, you and I are both very different when it comes to coffee.
We are not like most Americans.
Yeah.
Like, and that's no shade to our fellow Americans. America coffee culture is just, we joke about this all the time. Like nobody, like, I don't want to say nobody, that's a blanket statement, but like not many people, like I feel like the taste of coffee. Like looking at Starbucks, for example.
Yeah.
Like
It's all sugar.
Like what a lot of people will get as their drink is like.
No, yeah. I mean, yeah. It's just.
Weren't you saying that you knew someone that like.
Yeah, I knew people that their coffee order was like $15.
Which is, I mean.
For like a venti.
But then like there was like a bunch of other shit in it, right?
Yeah,
like,
it was like 3 shots of espresso or something, and then it was like pump of this, pump of that, cream, whipped chocolate drizzle, like, and it's like ends up being like $15, and it's just, I mean, $15 every single morning.
Yeah, well, I mean, if they did that every single morning, I mean,
right, which you probably don't,
most,
but
like,
I mean,
still,
even if you only do it 3 times a week, it's
yeah,
still a lot.
Yeah, but I think that's what's funny is like you and I, we like really like the actual taste of coffee. Like, well, you especially, because what's your Starbucks order?
Shot of espresso.
And every time they
always ask if I want it on ice. I'm like, nah, hot's good.
An espresso shot on ice. That's
it's like
they're like, are you
pull
sure,
a shot
sir?
over an ice cube? I don't know.
Like who does? That?
Yeah, I don't understand the whole iced coffee.
Yeah, we're just
epidemic.
Not iced coffee people. Which, like, no shade to anybody who is. Like, we have plenty of friends that are into iced coffee.
People just like iced coffee. I mean, it's refreshing to a point.
Yeah, I get that.
It's just you end up drinking it way, way fast. But like it could be 32
Oh,
degrees
well,
outside and people get iced
I know
coffee.
some people that milk it. Yeah. I
They just get
mean,
it's freezing outside and they get an iced coffee. They just like iced coffee. Which
that's
is
funny.
whatever.
See, I'm the opposite though. Like I'll get like a hot coffee when it's like pretty warm out. And they're like, "Oh, you don't want it on ice? Like you don't want it?" I was like,
The
"No."
only
Like,
iced coffee that people consume in Italy is a affogato,
oh,
which is espresso on top of ice
so
cream.
good. Gelato.
10 out of 10. Yeah, gelato. Excuse me. Oh my gosh.
Ugh,
10 out of
some
10.
Italian you.
I know.
That's embarrassing. Yeah, I mean, so there's that. And actually, and this is a good segue into like the kind of Starbucks conversation, but basically they're really trying to bring back like the coffee house vibe,
Yeah.
and which I really appreciate, honestly. And we're going to dig into a little bit how they're doing that. But yeah, I mean, but this is also the funny thing, and I know you and I've talked about this many times, is so American coffee culture typically, this is not to say people don't, go to coffee houses and whatever, and just like sit. There's plenty of people like I see it like Pete's in our hometown and they, sit and work or do whatever.
Yeah.
Um, but it's very on the go. It's like no one just kind of like sits and drinks coffee anymore. But that's why we were laughing because in like Italian coffee culture, it's also very much like get it and go.
Yeah.
But like there's something like so romantic about that. Like I don't know, it just hits different in Italy. I don't know. Maybe it's because it's just been ingrained. Like
Yeah. I
that's just
mean,
how they do it. I don't know. But us, it's all about like it's just convenient. We're always like trying to get somewhere, and you just don't like sit and enjoy it.
not too
I don't
often
know.
anymore. I mean, yeah, the cafe culture is really dwindled in this country.
I just don't even
It's not too many. I
cafes
mean,
like. God.
cafe culture here, it seems to be like it's just a bunch of people that are retired
Oh, literally, what
go
I
to the
just said
coffee.
about our local like Pete's and
Yeah,
stuff. It's mostly like
it's just
retired
retired
people.
folks, older people that just go to the coffee, whatever, Pete's or Starbucks,
Yeah.
and just kind of hang out. It's like, not many people have the time to just go hang out at a coffee shop,
Hmm.
which sucks.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, we've talked about that. Like it. There's definitely now like more and more people are working from home or working remote or whatever, but there's definitely a lot more companies like requiring that you go back
Yeah,
to the office now. So it's interesting what Starbucks is trying to do because they're really trying to bring it back to like kind of the old school way of
yeah,
doing like
cafe.
when they had like their first one, or so it seems. But yeah, I don't know. It's
Yeah,
just
just
going to
trying
be
to make it
interesting.
more cozy and more
Hmm.
inviting to hang out, stay a while. As of now, you know, Starbucks are not a place that you just want to go hang out.
Yeah,
They're
no.
just
Well, yeah,
un-
we're gonna get into that.
uncomfortable and
Yeah,
not super cozy or inviting or anything. They're just, I don't know.
it's just yeah, a
It's just
little like
blah.
kind of sterile now.
Just
Yeah, well,
blah.
actually, that's a perfect segue because we're gonna talk about this here in a second. But yeah, I don't know. I just think we have a little ways to go in America with our coffee culture. It's just all very to go, which is like fine. I get it. People have work. You just want to like maybe have
Well,
kids. You
our
gotta.
coffees are generally bigger, right?
That's true.
We always
That's a
have a
very good
big
point.
coffee. Like the smallest coffee that we can find here is like 8 ounces for the most part.
Yeah,
And usually I would say people
it's like
are getting
12
12 ounces is like the average
common.
is what
Yeah,
people are getting, right?
yeah.
Where so you kind of have to get that to go because it's a lot
Mm-hmm.
of liquid. You can't slam 12 ounce. I mean, I guess you could, but weird.
Ooh, that's not
But like,
interesting.
yeah, but so you usually are getting it to go if you're not gonna be staying somewhere for a long period of time.
Right.
But in Europe, most of the time, a coffee is 2 ounces.
Small and fat. That's probably why it is fat. I mean,
Yeah, it's
like an
fast. It's
espresso
two
shot, like
ounces,
yeah,
right?
or most of
So,
cappuccino. Yeah, which
or a cappuccino, which is still pretty small.
yeah.
But yeah, like a 2 ounce espresso, and you're out the door ready to go to work, right?
Mm-hmm.
But
And then in the
we,
afternoon.
yeah, it's like a
Yeah.
combination, like, because we have the old, the drip coffee, right?
Yeah.
So, I grew up, my grandma and grandpa go to their house. They had,
When you're
the old
when you're
school,
12 years
yeah,
old.
the old school coffee machine, right? They had
Yeah.
like
Oh, my
the
parents too.
percolator where, it would kick on at 7 a.m. and start brewing coffee and you could hear it,
It's so nostalgic for you,
hear it.
huh?
Oh yeah. Hearing
Oh.
it bubble and you start to smell it. And you're like, oh shit. Yeah. bacon's coming soon, you know?
That's how it
And
was in my house too. That's a good point.
yeah, and
Yeah,
like
there's some things.
there was always 24/7. There was
A pot of
always a
coffee.
pot of coffee
Yeah.
at my grandma and grandpa's, hot and ready for someone to drink. Like
Aw.
always.
See, okay, I do kind of love that.
But
Like
that's very American to have a pot of
that's very
coffee ready,
American.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I actually do kind of love that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not that many people probably drink black coffee anymore, or it's like probably older generations.
What
Um,
like black or just like a
yeah,
pot?
just black drip coffee. Like I
Mm.
I don't personally know many people that drink that anymore that aren't
Yeah, a lot
below
of
the age of
people.
55.
I mean, yeah, just a straight black drip coffee with no creamer or anything like
Yeah,
that. Yeah, it's
like just
pretty.
black. That my dad loved that,
That's pretty
but
generational for sure.
yeah, I think so. Cup of Senga. Some people might. Do you even know what Senga
Yeah,
is?
of course I know what Senga
Okay.
is. Do you know who you're talking to? God,
A man who was definitely born in the wrong generation.
so true.
We always joke he was born like probably 50 years too late.
50 years too late and 150 years too early.
That's what you always
So I don't get the 50s and I don't get to enjoy like crazy technology either. It's
man.
a shitty
Maybe
time.
maybe next time around. I feel so bad for you.
Just like, God, miss both.
It's so true. Oh my God. Anyway, so let's get into exactly what's happening with Starbucks. So, long and short of it is they just got a new CEO, Brian Niccol,
Who came from Chipotle.
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 Sorry, we can't help ourselves. Yeah. And
Fire. Brutable. Yum. Hit it.
this is a podcast episode
Sorry, I'm
for another
delirious.
day. You really are. We're recording this after our daughter went to bed, so excuse us. Been a long day. So yeah, so he has the task now of quote reversing sales and traffic declines at this struggling institution. This is an article, words not mine.
Apparently, Starbucks isn't doing as well as it has done in the past. Much to the surprise of me,
How insightful.
because
Yes, that's basically what that means.
they
I
seem
know
like
you.
they're doing fine.
I know.
What was their revenue? 9.8 billion in
Yeah,
Q1.
I don't
Man, they're
have
not
it.
making enough money.
I
9.8 billion in Q1. Come on.
know.
How many coffees that is?
That's a ton of coffee. Yeah. Well, okay, here. I have a little oh, and by the way, any like article and facts and things that I'm referring to today is all linked in our show notes. So if you want to check those out. Basically, Starbucks's stock is up 7% over the last 12 months, but the company has posted 3 straight quarters of slumping sales and declining customer visits. Shocker. Global sales of stores open at least a year fell 7% last quarter, and the number of customer transactions sinking by 8%. So
Yeah,
they are
'cause-
down.
Yeah, well, I mean, everyone buys coffee online now, and then they just go pick it up.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I mean, it's basically the only way I drink coffee. I mean, unless we're going out somewhere special.
Yeah,
for
this
the
is a
day,
Saturday
and
or
like,
Sunday, and we both have
But
time
e-
to just go hang out.
but think about it. Even then, we get it to go.
Yeah.
But I guarantee you, if we lived in Europe, that would not be the case. We would sit our asses down and enjoy it.
Well, yeah, people watching's way cooler.
That's true. Yeah, we're in the wrong country as
I
usual.
don't know.
Anyway,
There's nothing to see here.
that's kind of true.
You know, you go to a Starbucks, it's in like, just a thoroughfare. And there's like, there's no one walking.
That's so true. I see so many like TikToks and reels about like you're not on social media, so you won't appreciate this, but like people will they're like, no one talks about how hard it is to go from like this, where it's showing like these beautiful, like cafes and views from wherever they were, to this, and it's like exactly that. It's like these bland gray shopping malls and like our highways, and it sucks because America's so beautiful, but Jesus Christ, these Starbucks locations are just in some of the saddest places. How many Starbucks were in Napa? We live in like the Northern California area north of San Francisco, and
People know where Napa is.
No, I know.
Oh, okay.
I
thought you were like explaining to people. We live in Napa Valley. That's this place that's in Northern California.
No, I'm saying we live in the Northern California
okay.
area, and we were on our way to Napa one day, and we were talking about this, which is what prompted this whole conversation. And we were like, "Oh, I wonder how many Starbucks there are."
So Napa's a population of 76,000 people, and they have 11 Starbucks.
Yeah,
it's too many.
That's crazy.
It's a lot of Starbucks.
It's crazy, you guys. And it like, again, not a lot of people probably aren't familiar with like exactly how Napa's like laid out, unless you do. But like, it's there. That's so many.
It's an interesting
It's
concept to
really
have that many, because at a certain point the stores will start to cannibalize on each other.
See, you would think, but I don't know that that's the case. Well, this is complete conjecture. I have no idea. But that's the whole point of Starbucks, right? Is like you got them coming and going. So you literally have, and this is how a lot of ours are set up, as is many, many cities across the US. They have one on each side of the road.
Yeah, no, I
So,
understand the premise of like the more you have, the more chances you have to get a customer. I get it.
yeah,
But at the same time, it just seems like
you would think.
if you have too many stores in one spot, like they all can't be successful.
Hmm.
So it's like if you limited your stores a little bit, then you could focus and like have, 3 stores that do really well versus 11 stores that are doing okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if you had, let's say that they only had 5 stores in Napa versus 11. Would those 5 stores get the same amount of foot traffic as the 11? I mean,
That's a good question.
probably, I would imagine.
Because if people really want Starbucks or
I mean,
like
if
they'll seek it
5,
out. I
like you
mean,
can have 5 in all different corners of the air. You could have
yeah.
4 corners plus 1 centralized, and like you
Hmm.
would,
You do totally fine.
yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. But
I
yeah,
don't
we some of ours
understand.
are like in Safeways or
Seems like
they're
it's too
in
many. I
stores.
don't know.
I
Well,
know.
what do I
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. Well, we know nothing on this topic, but this is why we're talking about it.
Maybe they should
So,
start selling Chipotle at Starbucks.
because
Some carnitas with my latte.
that goes really well
Mm.
with a caramel macchiato.
As long as I can put up my own mug.
Okay, so that's actually a perfect first point because
Mm.
one of the things I was going to mention, and these first 3 points are from the Starbucks website directly. So the first thing that they are implementing, you ready for it?
Hit me.
You can order your beverage, if you order your beverage, quote, for here, drinking it there, you can enjoy free refills. There's a caveat here, but what it says is starting January 27th. By the way, we're recording this early 2025, so this was recent. When you order any beverage for here, including coffee, tea, and all specialty beverages, it will be served in a coffee mug, glass, or your clean personal cup brought from home. So no more are they doing like their typical to-go cups, no matter if you're getting it for here or to go. During your time, wait, during your same visit to that cafe, regardless of the first beverage you ordered, you will also be able to enjoy free refills of hot brewed or iced coffee or hot or iced tea following your initial purchase.
Yeah, so you get a latte and then you can just drink
They can
drip
just get like a
coffee.
coffee out of it. I
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, good for that. I mean, I still want a second latte probably, but that's also a lot of milk. So yeah, I'll take
I
that free
mean,
refill. I'll take a
yeah,
tea to
the
go.
idea is the longer you spend time, the more time you spend, the more money you spend.
Yes,
That's always been
in theory.
the theory. With bars, the more time you're
Oh yeah.
there, the more money you spend.
Hmm.
So they're trying to get people to stay longer.
Yeah.
So you get that black coffee and then that extra, refill, and you're like, oh, maybe I'll have,
Maybe I'll linger, get a little food
yeah, maybe
while
I'll
I'm
have
at
some
it.
food or I'll do
Yeah.
this. So if they could increase probably sales per visitor by a very small amount, they would increase total sales tremendously.
That's probably what they're banking on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like their average customer is probably what, like, I don't even know what a coffee costs. Honestly, I just give them a credit
At
card.
least $5. I don't know.
So
I
let's
mean,
just
my
say
lattes are the same.
let's say the average person is $6 an order, right?
Yeah,
That's what the average spend is per
probably.
customer. They're probably like, if we can get that $6 average to $8,
Yeah.
that would like massive
Yep.
increase. Just $2 a person extra.
That's true.
That would
Or even, yeah, I mean,
be a
maybe
crazy,
even,
and so that's probably what they're doing.
yeah. And also, it's not like, a drip coffee or hot or iced
Yeah, and
tea
that's
or
a
anything.
low,
That's
super
like,
low cost to them.
yeah. So
Like
they're not
they have
charged as much.
so much ground coffee and so much tea. Like,
Well, and honestly, and I think we've joked about this, I'm just like, how many people, there's a select group of people I'm sure that would love that, but like most people probably aren't like drinking black drip coffee.
right,
Like they might get like a tea or something, but you know what I mean? It's just like how many people
right.
actually
Yeah, iced tea. That
want
sounds
that
nice.
if you think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, so I think that's definitely part of it, but then also just wanting to bring back that more homey vibe and just
Yeah.
like, having your
Sitting, hanging out.
coffee in a
I
cup.
mean,
Yeah,
they
so you
have
don't
to.
feel like you need to go
They're gonna
anywhere.
have to totally redo the interior of these
I
places.
completely agree. Yeah.
They're like plastic and cold, and there's,
It's just not a cozy place
it's
to
just
be.
not like
No,
I
I
need a
know.
fireplace. Fireplace, real or fake fireplace. throw an electric stove in there, some wingback leather chairs, some cozy carpet.
Yeah.
Like, we need some cozy
No,
corners
I
in that
completely agree with
place.
you. It's really
Some nooks.
yes, definitely some nooks are needed. It is very sad going into I'll just speak for some of the Starbucks in our area. They're sad. They just kind of feel sticky. I don't
There's
know.
like the one that you go to.
Which one?
It's the one.
In Napa?
Yeah, it's in Napa and it's over
Yeah.
by like the taco
I think
place.
it's like my dentist office, near my
Yeah, that
dentist
one.
office, yeah.
That one. So like you go in there and they don't even really have any seating in there. It's like there's no seating. There's a couple
A
like
few tables.
there's
It's
like a
not
couple.
very
They're like bar stools and like high top chair and high top tables.
I'll
It's
be
like
honest with you, I'm always so in and out getting my mobile order that I don't even really look around,
yeah.
which
I look
I rest
around
my
and I
case.
pay attention and I'm like, I wouldn't want to
Yeah.
stay here even if I could.
Yeah.
Like the chairs are like just
No, I know, hard.
lame bar stools
Yeah.
with high top tables. It's just like not a comfy place to like
Mm-mm.
sit down and spread out and
Yeah.
just plant yourself.
So it's interesting because in any of the stuff that I've read so far, they don't talk about like redesign.
Yeah,
Not that they need a massive
renovating.
redesign, but like, yeah. So I don't know. We'll
They need
see.
some couches for sure and
I
furniture, like
agree.
chairs and
But
couches
that's a
and
big investment too.
yeah.
Sidebar, I didn't have anything any like note about this, but I know you looked this up. How many stores is he the CEO trying to open now, right? They're trying to like double their stores.
Yeah, so they're trying to increase their store count in the United States by 50%.
Yeah.
So I think there's a total of
38,000.
38,000 stores currently in the US
Crazy.
operating, and they want to increase that by
I
50%. Yeah.
just where are they all gonna go? I don't even know.
It's a lot of Starbucks.
It's-
California has 6,000 of them.
I thought it was 3.
Oh yeah,
Whatever.
that's what it was. They have 3,000
And then
and it's
there was like some
16%.
yeah, that was it.
16%
There
of
was
the
some
total.
other state that you
Yeah,
threw
it's
out that
crazy.
had like what was it? 5 or
Oh,
something?
Vermont. The
Vermont.
whole state of Vermont has 5 Starbucks,
That's so wild.
and we have 10 in our town.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, Vermont. So cute. Yeah. So anyway, so great that they offer all this, in the mug, want you to come and stay. But yeah, I think there's definitely, hopefully there's a plan to like make it feel more welcoming because right now, and I'm actually going to touch on something about that in a little while. But also the condiment bar is coming back.
Yeah, so you get
Were
your
you aware that was gone in the first
mustard,
place?
your relish,
Oh.
your
I'm surprised you're not talking about Chipotle again and some like salsa bar or something.
oh, that'd be killer. Get some salsa, some guac. What else they got? They
Oh my
got
God.
mayonnaise,
What?
just
So
condiments,
Just
all the
random
condiments.
mixture of condiments. Wow, we really are delirious.
No, yeah, I never really noticed that it was gone, but now that you say that, I'm like, oh yeah, they
Yeah.
haven't had that in a while, yeah.
Yeah.
Which Pete's has it still.
Yeah.
They have. It's
I don't
like
put condiments in my coffee, I guess. So I like creamer. Like
Yeah.
I don't put that stuff in my coffee. So I guess I also don't.
yeah. Well, I mean, if you're like on your your second cup, which is a refill, you're like, oh, I got some black coffee, and then let me
Yeah,
go put some cream
some
in it,
stuff in it,
half
yeah.
and half or whatever.
So it's interesting. Yeah. I'm like, how does that work now? Does the barista do it for you? Like,
What do you mean?
like what if you want cream in your coffee? Do you have to like
Probably have to
ask?
ask. Yeah, you probably say like
Interesting.
black coffee with a little cream, but it's like who knows what a little means.
I know. See, that's what I'm saying. Like,
I hate people that put. I hate it when people put cream in my coffee. That, like,
no, that is so personal.
Yeah, I was like, that's too much or that's not enough.
No,
I
yeah, you
need
can't
just
mess with
right. Like,
Yeah. That's like salting someone else's food that
Yeah.
it's like a group is eating. I'm thinking of someone in our family. who
yeah,
does
it's
that.
just like let me put my own stuff in my own
Yeah,
coffee.
no,
Like,
that's like
I don't-
you can not to be
Mhm.
dramatic, but you could literally ruin someone's coffee by putting too much cream
Some
or
people
sugar.
like a lot of creamer. Some people don't like it at all.
I know, because then you don't.
You just
don't
want like
the
a
taste of
dash,
coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I am.
Yeah, it's rough.
Anyway, so yeah, so you can now add finishing touches to your beverage with the return of creamer and milk, along with a variety of sweeteners to the condiment bar. If you don't see the milk or sweetener you prefer, don't hesitate to ask a barista. Nice. Okay. Variety.
Yeah. It'll be. I'm sure that the
That's so funny. That's like
baristas will be happy.
well, yes. So Okay, so speaking of baristas, so they also now have this whole like coffee house code of conduct, and you actually can go on Starbucks and stuff and read this whole thing. Obviously, I won't do it. But what they said is we've also heard from customers and partners, employees, that access to comfortable seating in a clean, safe environment is critical to getting back to the Starbucks they know and love. To do this, we'll be implementing a coffee house code of conduct that's linked to provide clarity that our spaces are for use by customers and partners, employees. So basically just making it a comfortable, cozy, and pleasant place to be again a true coffee shop.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a note about this later too that I guess I'll just mention now is basically they're not letting anyone kind of like hang out or use its restroom without
Yeah.
making a purchase. So fair. I
Yeah.
mean, I feel like
Although, have you ever been on a road trip and you're like, I have to
yes,
pee? And
but
like,
then
oh, a
but then
Starbucks.
I'd buy something.
Yeah, it's true, I guess.
You know,
Uh,
what is it? What does it really cost? You get like a freaking $3 tea or $6 tea because shit's so
mm.
expensive now. Anyway, no, well, yeah, and so I think this is on the heels of that they. This says other tweaks include a ban on panhandling, discrimination, consuming outside alcohol, and vaping, according to the policy posted online.
Is
Employees have received.
panhandling like a problem with Starbucks?
I would imagine
So
so.
people just like
Yes.
hang out and like sell stuff?
Yeah.
Weird.
I would imagine. I'm not surprised at all. I haven't really seen that at ours, but I have there's a location near us that I can think of specifically that does have a little bit of a homeless problem. And it's funny because it's like right downtown somewhere, but it just has some kind of seedy people. I see it all the time. Actually, that one might have gotten like a code lock on their door or something like that. So you know what I mean? Like they have to
Mm.
give you the code to get in. Um, More power to them. I mean, yeah, it sucks if it's like a real emergency or something, like, I
Yeah.
don't know, but
It's kind of sick. I mean, if you are homeless, you just go in and like scrounge up enough money to buy a cup of coffee
I
and you
guess.
just chill there all day getting refills.
I'm sure they would put a stop
Sounds
to it
pretty
at
cool to
some
me.
point.
Use the bathroom all day.
Oh my god.
Eh.
Yeah, so, but that I mean, that sucks because yeah, no employee, no customer, shouldn't have to deal with that. Not just the homeless people. I'm just saying, just and it's interesting too, like the discrimination. I was reading a little bit more about that, and it sounds like people kind of get harassed a little bit by maybe some seedy people. Yeah, it depends on where some of these locations are. I'm sure.
Yeah.
I don't mean states, just in general. We live in a very nice area of the U.S. and we still have some seediness going on. So it happens. The consuming outside alcohol and vaping thing kind of made me laugh because it's like,
Oh god, the vaping.
I know. Yeah. Anyway, people just loitering and doing things. So yeah, I think that's all a part of.
They're just trying.
They're just trying to turn shit around.
They're trying to retrain their customer base essentially,
Yeah,
which takes time.
which
But
is hard. Yeah, I've compared that to I worked in retail for many many years, like apparel, and it's like when the company I worked for kind of I don't say made this mistake, but kind of made this mistake where you they like train their customers to expect percentages off, right? 20, 30, 40, 50% off clothes.
mm,
And they were trained, they knew to wait
for a
for those
sale, sure.
sales to shop. So I don't know. It's just gonna I'm not even done with this list yet, but anyway, it's gonna be interesting to see how people adopt to this or not. But we're kind of really getting into the nitty gritty of it. So the other thing, and this is where people are getting a little more pissed off, is they're also reducing their menu by about 30% as it aims to be, quote, more responsive and tuned into cultural moments.
Whatever that means with coffee.
That means. Maybe more trendy drinks or something. So like they'll have like
They'll probably
less
just do a lot more like
staples, and then
seasonally.
I think that's kind of which okay, fine.
Yeah, cool.
We will not be drinking those, but yeah. That's not true. There's some Christmas lattes and things that I have.
Yeah,
But anyway, I
for
digress.
you.
Yeah. And then Niccol, so CEO, also said this change will allow the coffee chain to reevaluate food offerings it will sell to customers in the morning and the afternoon. So it sounds like, well, we were talking about this. There's like some locations that like do have certain things and some that
Yeah.
don't, or there's just like
Yeah.
a little lack of
Different locations
consistency.
have different food items, it
Yeah.
seems.
Or they're just like kind of randomly sold
Some
out
have,
sometimes. And
yeah, it's the weirdest thing.
yeah, it's interesting.
Like
Yeah.
it's
So,
almost
I
like
mean,
some can do hot, some can't do hot. Like, it's weird. It's like,
I've never noticed that. That's funny.
yeah, like the one in Target, you can't get like a hot like sandwich.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, you
Oh,
can't.
whoa.
Yeah, you can't go in there and be like, I want like the, whatever
Yeah.
sausage muffin or whatever it
Right,
is,
right, right.
and they heat it up or whatever. You can't. They don't
Oh,
have that
funny.
there.
I guess I never noticed that, but yeah, that makes
Yeah,
sense. Well, it makes sense. Yeah, their capabilities, I guess, are different. But yeah, I mean, I guess just
they
in
should make it the
general,
same everywhere.
yeah, I mean, I guess if they're within a store, maybe there's some other, whatever limitations about that. But I guess it's just, yeah, it's just gotten so out of control. And actually, this is where I was going with this. This says it's an acknowledgement that Starbucks went too far in overloading its baristas with endless ways to prepare drinks, and customers are just overly customizing their orders.
It's
Don't
ridiculous.
even get us started on the customization.
Yeah,
I am all
it's rough.
for having things how you want it, but within moderation, I guess. Or it's like it just,
Yeah, I
how
mean,
many
have some
modifications do
common
you really need?
sense.
I
Like,
don't know. Well, it's not like common sense, but it's like, do you need like the 50 extra little differences? I don't know.
yeah, it's like a pump of this, a pump of that, a pump of this, a pump of that. Sprinkles, whipped cream, chocolate drizzle, caramel drizzle.
Yeah, it's just, I don't
It's
know.
like
It's just,
I have
there's got to
this.
be a happy medium.
It's like I have this. It's like a smoothie, right? It's like a chocolate. It's almost like they have a chocolate. What is it? Not a smoothie. What's the word I'm looking for?
Like milkshake or something?
Yeah, it's like a chocolate milkshake with like a dash of coffee in it. Is what it is. It's
Oh,
supposed to be.
like what it ends up being. I was like,
Yeah,
where are you
it's
going with
supposed to be
this?
like a coffee beverage. So
Yeah.
they end up having it be like a milkshake.
It's literally a shot of espresso, but it's like a venti with like a bunch of other shit in it.
Yeah, there's 2 ounces of coffee in
If
this
that.
24-ounce drink. It's
Yeah.
like that's what?
Yeah. Well, so there's that piece of it, but then also, and again, I'm reading this, Starbucks employees have also admonished, it's a fancy word, admonished customers for following viral TikTok hacks that promote customized drink orders that are cheaper than original menu items. One employee even mentioned in a viral TikTok that was posted in 2022 that these hacks could result in a waste of product and can hold up lines as orders are being customized. That's not cool.
Yeah, I mean,
Like, come on now.
yeah.
Yeah. It's just, I don't know. I feel for the baristas. I really do. We've both worked in
Yeah, I
hospitality
could
and like
never.
food and drink and
When someone comes in, they're like, "I want a
just
soy milk, one shot, 7 different things in." I'm like,
yeah.
"You're gonna
And
get black coffee."
you're gonna like
Next,
it.
next.
I know. Well, yeah. And listen, we completely, for sure, if you need a certain milk substitution, if you're lactose
Yeah,
intolerant, like
sure.
of course. And I
Except
understand
for oat
preference.
milk.
I, he like really frowns upon oat
It's
milk.
weird.
It does taste. I don't know. For me, I agree with you. It does taste a little funny. Like
It tastes
I
like
can't get
oats.
on board with it. I just can't.
Very, very strong flavor.
Yeah, it just. Ooh.
Doesn't make coffee
Yeah,
taste better.
my palate just doesn't jive.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. I don't know. That just doesn't sit well with me. It's just messed up. It's like just I don't know.
Yeah,
It's
I
all
don't know.
about balance. Just yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. And so basically Niccol
Not to
said
mention you don't need that much sugar.
no. Oh my
It's like
God.
30 grams of sugar in this coffee you're having. It's like
Insane.
really not good for you.
No, I know. It just your coffee order doesn't need to be that freaking complicated. It just doesn't. Like, I don't
No, I
even know
know.
some of the coffee
Starbucks
orders,
is
but
just
like,
like they've created a
no, they've
monster,
absolutely, yeah.
you know.
No, it's kind of it's their
Mhm.
own fault. I mean, it is.
Mhm.
But now that's why they're trying to rein it in.
Sure.
Which more power to them. I hope they can do it. Yeah, and Nichols said our customers are asking for it, and our baristas are saying it would help them deliver the speed of service that they want to provide. Which I have a note here. They are promising to deliver orders to customers in 4 minutes or less.
That'll be cool.
So I think they're just, yeah, they're just limiting add-ons and substitutions,
Meh.
and which should have always been the case. Do you see like
Meh.
Pete's and stuff having this problem? Like,
No.
or freaking Dutch Bros? Like, for
Starbucks is kind
those
of
who
like
have
that
those?
place that everyone knows. It's like you go there to like have some crazy coffee drink.
Yeah. Yeah. Which they do trendy coffee drinks. So, uh, I get it. Again, it's from their own creation, but
Yeah.
yeah, it just, I don't know, very out
Weird.
of hand. It also said, this is kind of just some other random stuff, and then I'll finish with one of the other things that I think is cool, but is all is kind of confusing people. But these last few things here, Starbucks will also be implementing digital menu boards and its cafes in the US in the next 18 months to make offerings, quote, more easily understood and to better show customization add-ons. So basically what I was just saying
Yeah, I mean,
about
I think that
let me
they
make it very
have
clear what you
I
can and
think
can't
they
do.
have a menu already, but like
They do, but it's not like digital.
no, it's not
I've never
digital
seen a
and like
digital one.
I have never really used it.
Oh no, literally not, because we know.
Oh my gosh, one of my pet peeves
Oh God.
is when you're standing in line for a coffee and they get up to the front line and they've had 20 minutes waiting in line to think about their order
Uh-huh.
and they get up there and they still don't know what they want.
Yeah.
I
This is a pet peeve of yours in general. This for
cannot
food
stand
and
this.
everything.
You've had 20 minutes to figure this out. You get up to the line and you're like, you have the audacity
The audacity.
to ask, well, what one do you prefer? The caramel blah 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 or the vanilla blah blah blah? Which one has more sugar? Well, what does it have this? What does this what and I'm like, "Oh my God, you literally had 20 minutes to figure this
They
out."
have
Like
questions to ask,
I
apparently.
have to order my coffee and go. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah,
I hate that.
I know.
Oh, I hate that.
That is a little bit annoying. I get like maybe one or two questions, but yeah, we've definitely been with people. Read my mind, you know who
I
I'm
know
talking
exactly
about.
what you're talking about, and it's like we're
With
standing in
with
line to
more
order
with
food,
food,
and it's like you
it's
had 10 minutes, 15
bad
minutes to think about. Look at the menu. You're staring at the menu on the wall,
because there's questions. Well, can
and then
we
you get
do
up there, and they're
this?
like, "Well, can I have it like this, or can you do this instead of this?" And
Talk about substitutions.
oh my
Yeah.
God,
And some of it is dietary and some of it is being a little high maintenance. Yeah.
oh God.
Mhm.
There's people
Yeah.
behind us, like they're just
Oh
like
my
looking at
God. And we're like,
their.
oh, we're not with them.
Yeah,
But we're with them, unfortunately. Yeah.
just
Don't be that
order your
person.
fucking burrito.
You're just on a burrito kick today.
They're delicious.
You should have had Chipotle for dinner. Anyway, yeah. So there's that. And okay, so last few things here and then I'll share the last big one. They're pausing price increases, which cool cuz they're freaking expensive enough. So
Yeah,
like
I didn't even know they were
we're
increasing prices.
considering price increases. Yeah, they shouldn't. So please don't. My lattes are expensive enough already. Removing an upcharge for non-dairy milk customizations, which
That should
definitely agree.
always be a thing, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Especially
Shouldn't be punished for being, lactose intolerant.
absolutely not. Yeah. Or just or having a preference. I get it. I know we kind of have a little bit of hate for oat milk, but yeah, I don't see how that should, I don't know, be an add-on. Oh, I mentioned the 4 minutes or less. Oh, they're also going to update the app to include a capacity-based time slot model that allows customers to schedule mobile orders. So, lot like with whatever DoorDash or
Yeah.
like food orders, which I think is cool. And then the last thing, which from what I've read has some people excited and a lot of people just confused, is the return of personalizing cups. So that is a directive from Niccol, who previously said the chain has to, quote, track down 200,000 Sharpies to make it happen.
I was talking
It's a
about
lot of
this
Sharpies.
today with, someone I work with is a, Gen Zer,
Oh.
and she was saying how, like
Oh, I know who you're talking about. I
yeah,
love her.
she was saying how some guys are, getting in trouble because
Are
they're
they
like
putting like their numbers or some shit?
yeah,
Or
so,
they're
they're,
like,
have a girlfriend, right? And they'll,
yeah.
go get a Starbucks and the barista will write some, like, "Oh my gosh, so I had amazing to serve you. Oh my gosh, nice meeting you," shit like that. And the wives or girlfriends are like, "Who is Alicia?"
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
yeah, shit like that.
That's
It's
scandalous.
funny.
That's hella funny. I don't know. Yeah, I guess I was about to say I don't know why people are like weirded out or confused by it, but I guess with that example, that's kind of funny actually.
I know, who knows? Maybe they're like leaving phone numbers. I don't know.
Yeah, oh, I wouldn't
Could
be.
be the other way around too. A guy writing his number on a girl's cup too. Who knows?
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty funny. I think it's going to be interesting to see how some of these changes come to fruition.
Mm-hmm.
Like we were saying, it's, certainly going to take more than just this list to
Right.
really make a difference. It'll take time.
Yeah, lots of time and money.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, especially if they're trying to open stores too, which I also find interesting. I'm like, but you can't be opening more stores that look and feel the same like your current stores.
No, yeah.
Because like that ain't gonna
They definitely
do
have
it.
to
Like people are still gonna get their shit to go.
Stores that are a bit different, yeah, for sure.
I mean, people are, yeah, I don't know. Like I said at the beginning, we're just in this like to go culture. So
yeah,
you're literally kind of shifting culture. It's
literally like American culture, though. It's like
yeah, because we
always on the go.
I know.
We don't have that
bummer.
Sit and relax, really.
But that's the whole point of this podcast is to try and slow down and savor and
relax
and just like enjoy life. Except I just wish we had prettier places to enjoy it than a Starbucks in the middle of a parking lot.
It's true.
In the
middle of a Target.
We'll take what we can get. Listen, I love a good Starbucks and Target run. I am the most basic of bitches, and I am proud to admit that.
I know.
You.
What?
I know. Don't act like you didn't know you were marrying.
That's true too. Brought it on myself.
I own it fully.
She
anyway.
Does, yeah.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see where
I hope it works out.
We'll be this time next year.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Hope it works out, honestly.
Yeah. No hate towards Starbucks. No, I've told you this story. I do really have a soft spot in my heart for Target. And actually, we didn't even really, we talked a little bit about like what drinks that we get. I'm not going to lie. I gave Starbucks a lot of shade for like their flavored drinks and stuff, but I am a PSL girl.
Yeah,
however,
you do.
However,
oh my God, you customize it. Mm-hmm.
No, if anything, I make the process faster.
You decustomize?
I do.
You change the order. So
I deconstruct. No, I do 1 pump of the syrup because 4 pumps is absolutely batshit crazy and it's way too sweet. Even just the 1 pump is like borderline too sweet for me. But anyway, I do 1 pump and no whipped cream. So really, I'm saving them time. You're welcome for that.
It's so healthy.
I know. Listen, it's a very limited time offer. And with their winter drinks.
You go get a PSL right now.
Ew, no, I wouldn't.
I mean, you could.
First of all, no, they don't have it.
Yeah,
Second of all,
of course they do.
It's February. No.
They don't.
This is like an October, November thing. Okay.
Okay.
It's like.
I think you could go get one right now.
No, I swear to God, they don't have it on their app right now. Okay, anyway. Getting off track here.
Last year, you could have got it anytime you wanted. But now they're changing everything.
Oh. No, I don't. No, that's seasonal. It's seasonal.
Yeah, I know. It's fall.
It's like their whole, it's a whole thing. But no, I really do have a love for some of the winter drinks because, wait, really quick, what were you saying about your white chocolate mocha that you used to get?
Oh, yeah. When I was in college, we had a Starbucks in the library.
Yeah.
And I was, young, 21, 22, and I thought I was drinking coffee. But I'd get my, white chocolate mocha. And I was like, yeah, I have my coffee and study, right? And
I mean, it's not coffee, but apparently,
it's not coffee. And then I remember years later, before work, I was like, oh, it's a Friday. I'm feeling good. I'm gonna get like a white chocolate mocha. And so I go get it, and I'm like, oh, so excited. And I get my car, and I'm start driving to work, and I take a sip, and I was like, oh, this is so sweet.
So when you got it the first time, you got like all the pumps, like because they
do. I've never ever asked Starbucks to do anything extra to a drink I've ever ordered.
So you were not a part of this problem.
No, ever. And so I didn't remember.
That's
because
funny.
I had been
your palate.
I had been used to just drinking like at that time I was just drinking like black coffee.
Oh, well,
And I was just
yeah.
drinking black coffee for, for a while, like years. And then I
Yeah.
was like, let me go get a Starbucks for once. And I got a white chocolate mocha like I used to. And it was
Oh my God.
way too sweet. I was like,
Yeah.
this is terrible. Terrible.
Yeah, that's quite
It is so sweet.
hence the reason I only get
Man,
one pump of anything
man, is it sweet.
if I do it.
Jeez.
Yeah. I eh, yeah, well, you give me a lot of shit for when I started drinking coffee. Because when did I start drinking coffee?
When we
I'm
met?
testing you. Yes.
Oh, you mean when we went to Italy?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which was shortly after when we met.
it was.
But and I was like 20, what were we, 27, 26? I don't know.
Yeah, something like that.
Ish.
26, 27.
And literally when I wasn't my first coffee ever, but like when I started drinking coffee, it was out of a mocha pot, which is bitter
Very,
as hell.
very strong. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, strong black coffee. So yeah, I've always kind of, I don't know, but I think that's why I never could do anything like that sweet.
Yeah.
Even, I don't know, even then. But what I was going to say is I do have a soft spot for their winter drinks because you know the story that when I lost my mom December of 2019, and when I was visiting her in the hospital, which was, at least a couple months leading up to her death. It was a very long day, and I had a very long drive there, long drive home to get home to you, and I was like working and all the things, right? And it was wonderful seeing my mom, obviously, but not every visit was very pleasant. Like I just needed a way to decompress. And like I said, a very long drive home. So anytime I would have to then drive home, there was this specific Starbucks that was like kind of near the hospital that I would stop at, and I would get either the white chocolate mocha, or I think it was like a chestnut praline one or something like that. And I would like always alternate between the three.
Yeah.
And that was like my one thing other than coming home to you
Yeah.
and seeing my mom that I had to look forward to that day.
It was just,
and it really
cozy.
Yeah, it was cozy. It just provided that
It was like
little
that
semblance.
structure.
Yeah, it was structure, little spark of
Routine.
joy, routine. Yeah, it was just something.
You can control.
Yes.
Yeah.
In a time that was like very
Out of control.
sad and very out of
Sure.
control. Yeah. So Starbucks has a special place
Yeah.
in my heart. It really does.
It's fair.
And yeah. So anyway, we'll be curious to see where we are a year or 5 from now and
Yeah.
what kind of conversation we'll be having.
So true.
But anyway, thanks for hanging out with us on this. I was going to say we should have had this conversation over coffee, but like I said, we're doing
I want to
this
sleep tonight.
once our daughter went to bed instead. Anyway, thank you guys for hanging out with us today, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Cheers.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us and tuning into the Taste Toast Travel Podcast. We really appreciate you being here and hope you're enjoying these honest conversations about all things sipping, savoring, and seeing the world. If you like what you're hearing on the podcast, we would truly appreciate a rating or review on whatever platform you're tuning in on, so fellow foodies, Epicureans, and travel enthusiasts can enjoy this content too. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and give us a follow at Taste Toast Travel. We'll see you in the next episode.